my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright.
Oh my god!
Yo guys, what is up? It's your favorite dying, wheezing YouTuber Moxsy here with another Borderlands 3 video for you guys. This is my Gunz and Mozes build. This is a build that I made while I was sick because I just didn't care and I wanted to do a lot of damage and have a lot of fun. This build isn't going to be for everyone, but it's super cool. It's my fastest takedown time on Moze, faster than Firehose Moze. So with that, let's get right into the video. Yo guys, so before we can talk about the build or the gear or anything, we have to talk about this gun. This gun is the Lucky 7 pistol from the Moxsy's Heist DLC. This is a drop from Scrap Trap Prime that you can farm pretty easily, and this pistol is super unique. We've never had a gun like this in Borderlands before because it re-rolls a new modifier or new attributes or new bonuses every time you reload the weapon. So as you can see, when I reload the weapon, on the right side of it, there are 5 different things that light up. Each one of those is a different attribute that the gun can roll with. Once you reload, you lose those attributes, and those attributes from left to right are always critting, increased fire rate or full auto mode, elemental damage, explosive damage, and switching from a single shot to 7 shots. Now the core idea of this build is when you roll it with 4 or more stats, the gun becomes an absolute monster, and I would gander to say that this is probably the most OP thing coming out of the DLC. The Ion Cannon does a lot of damage, but I like this thing more, to be honest. We just rolled the 7 shots. That is going to be really important that is one of your rolls, because it's going to increase the damage on this thing tremendously. Everything about this build is geared towards rolling this weapon with crazy modifiers or crazy stats on it when you reload, and then being those stats always, so you can run the whole takedown without ever having to reload, and you never lose your bonuses. Now, just a quick tip, if you are going to shoot and reload this thing, it's going to take a while because you have to do this every time. But if you switch, shoot and switch, you can roll your modifiers really fast. If you have a quick enough eye to see what you're rolling, that is the fastest way to try to get all 5 roll or 4 roll. I've only gotten an all 5 roll twice while using this weapon, so I recommend just grabbing an all for roll of 4 pretty much, and then rocking with that. With that, let's get into the guns, gear, and the skill tree. Starting off with the skill tree. So the skill tree that we're rocking is full green tree, little dip toes in the blue tree, and a little dip the toes into the red tree. I have tried this build with a bunch of different trees, and so far this is the one I found I liked the most. I've played with using Terra Ammo Regen and using Forge, and I've played with using Forge and no Terra Ammo Regen. I've played with using Terra Ammo Regen and no Forge. Forge and Terra Ammo Regen is just the nicest thing to have. It is a pain in the butt when you lose your roll on this gun because you reload, and with this build you really don't have to worry about it that much, which is super nice as long as you're cautious with your trigger finger. And so in this skill tree, there is some really nice things that we're picking up. One is Moze and Iron Bar's damage will occasionally deal incendiary damage, won't consume ammo. This is really nice because it lets us shoot more. We're grabbing 5 out of 5 into match set because our magazine size is really important. My magazine size is currently 21 from 10, which is more than double, so that's super nice. We're getting redistribution because whenever we score a critical hit, we regenerate ammo. Now, when you're rolling this and you're looking for your rolls, you're gonna want the purple shots, the first one, because that is going to allow you to always crit. Meaning that every time you're shooting this gun, you're gonna be regenerating ammo, which is really nice. Incendiary damage, which we'll get into, but we're gonna be doing a bunch of incendiary damage, which is really awesome. This doesn't matter that much. We're just trying to get down to the Iron Bank, but this is gonna give us more critical hit damage and more fire rate. This 5 out of 5 into most magazines is an absolute must because we don't want to reload. Some for the Road is super nice, and one of my favorite things in this tree, it's going to let us hop into Iron Bear real quick, pop out, and then be able to shoot this gun as much as we want without ever worrying about ammo, which is really nice. When you're bossing or mobbing, you can just pop out and start spraying this thing, and it is one of the most satisfying things to do, is spray a weapon with utter abandon that you can't reload. But with this, you could just spray for 5 seconds with infinite ammo. It's a lot of fun. Click we're using because our ammo is going to be going down and back up, down and back up. We are able to benefit from this. And then Forge allows us to constantly regenerate ammo, which is super nice. Now, I have tried builds without this, I've tried builds with it, and I do like Forge. It's just going to allow us to worry less about reloading. Let's talk about the red tree first. So while Moze's shields are active, she gains damage reduction and increased gun damage. This is really nice to have. Killing an enemy gives us more gun damage and lower fire rate. The lower fire rate is actually nice to have, even though it's super small, just because it'll keep us from shooting as much. And the bonus gun damage, we're going to be killing a lot of things, so we'll be able to keep this +3 stacks up very easily. Now, this is super nice to have because whenever Moze or Iron Bear scores a critical hit, they deal bonus incendiary damage. Now, it's only 10%. It's only a small bonus, but if you remember that we're going to be scoring a critical hit every single shot we shoot, times 7. Which is going to give us awesome damage because we're scoring 7 critical hits per shot. That's 70% increased bonus damage with incendiary, which is awesome. I love having this in the build. This is another awesome thing because this gun can roll with splash damage and crit damage on it. Oh my god, I just rolled all 5. Wow, that's the 3rd time that's ever happened to me. Cool. So this is what it looks like to have all 5. It's crazy. Now we're doing splash damage on every shot of the 7 shots. Every single shot is doing splash damage. Every single shot is getting bonus incendiary from the splash damage as well, making us an incendiary tank. This build is a walking apocalypse. It's crazy. You destroy everything. Then the skill synergizes this with this really well. That whenever we deal splash damage, there's a chance to add ammo to our currently equipped weapons magazine with a smaller chance to return a grenade. This means that we're always doing splash damage because our bullets will always be doing splash damage with the right roll, meaning that we're going to get even more ammo regen, which is really nice. We're getting tons of ammo regen. I just grabbed Auto Bear and put these last points into Grizzled because our action skill is going to allow us to proc our terror ammo regen, which we'll get into in a second. But Auto Bear and Grizzled are just nice to have, but if you want to put these points elsewhere, you totally can. Oh, and I'm just using musical chairs with the grenade launcher because sometimes Auto Bear will fire and group up enemies, and then I could just blow them all to hell with the Lucky 7, which is really nice. Alright, let's get into the gear and the guns. Alright, before we get into the guns and the gear, I just wanted to preface with that this is gun and gear specific. This build is crazy. Does crazy things. You can get away with not using this gear, but for my personal build, I wanted it to be as crazy as possible, and I really didn't care. I just wanted to have fun with this build. This is a build that I really enjoy. If you don't like this build, don't use it. End of story. Here's the guns and the gear. So we're using a Lucky 7. Mine has splash damage on it, which is really nice because we're trying to always have the splash damage roll on it, which is going to allow us to proc fire in the Skagdon. These Maggies I'm not using, but I'm holding them because we are using match set. which is going to give us bonus magazine size for each of our Jacobs pistols, which is great. They don't need to be Maggies. They could be any Jacobs pistol or any Jacobs weapon you want. As long as they're Jacobs, you're good to go. And this next part is where you guys are going to stop liking me. I'm sorry for doing this. I just wanted to have fun with the game, but we are using a level 1 stopgap and a bloodletter. Now, for those of you that don't know how this works, we're basically immune to damage. We're basically unkillable. We're using a stopgap that is level 1, that when it breaks, we become immune to any damage for 5 seconds. Now, this paired with the bloodletter, paired with a loaded dice, paired with regenerate health per second on the class mod is the formula for unkillableness. Now, let me explain how this works. The stopgap has a tiny capacity, right? It's a 140 capacity shield. I am going to regenerate 149 health per second from my loaded dice. My loaded dice is decreasing my health by 75%, and I have a bloodletter class mod that whenever if she would regenerate health, she also gains shield regeneration. So this is healing my shields and my health, but it's going to basically cap my shields instantly. Always, we're getting health regen when our shields are full. We're gaining immunity when our shields break. Our shields regen to full immediately. This formula, a level 1 stopgap with a bloodletter and a class mod, an artifact that has health regen per second, is going to make you unkillable on Moze, pretty much unless you start blowing the Lucky 7 at your feet. It's really, really cool and really crazy. If you don't like that I did this, that's fine, don't use this build. I think it's cool and I enjoy doing it. It's fun, so let me have my fun, man. Let me have my fun. With that, we're using Terror ammo regen on the stopgap and apply Terror on our hex. This doesn't have to be a hex, it could be any grenade. I'm not throwing a grenade, and we're not throwing grenades, which means that we're not going in to pull the Holy Pin or Vampire. Now, if you wanted to throw grenades, you wouldn't have to do any of this, but the reason that it's really annoying is because, unlike with the Kibsworth, you can't shoot your throw a grenade and shoot at the same time. So on our Kibsworth, we could shoot a grenade or throw a grenade and shoot at the same time. You can't do that with the Lucky 7, which is really annoying and is the reason that I had to go the route that I did. If I could throw a grenade while doing this, I would not have done this. But it's really annoying to throw a grenade, shoot, throw a grenade while you're trying to heal, and then shoot more. And that is why I went this direction with this build, just because I prefer it. And yeah, that's basically what is making us unkillable. Now, the loaded dice having minus 75% max health is really, really important. Or getting a loaded dice is going to decrease your max health. Now, because I have low max health, I'm going to get health gated very easily. Health gating, if you didn't know, is that you can't get one-shotted in this game. Your health will drop to a percentage. I believe it's, I'm not going to say what percentage, I think it's like 35%, before you die. If something would one-shot you, you drop down to a certain percentage of your health, and then you need to get hit again for you to die. This is going to allow us to get hit to that health gate, and then regen our health, because we have constant health regen, and then get hit to the health gate, come back, get into the health gate. But our shield is going to become like recharging all the time, and we're going to be immune all the time. So yeah, this is a formula for success or disaster, whatever you want to consider it. It's super, super freaking crazy and cool. All of the gameplay that I recorded I'm filming this the night before the takedown is skilled to 1 player. So all of this is recorded before the scaling. But yeah, this was the Gunz and Mozes build. I will drop the save file for you guys like I always do. I have a lot of fun with this build. It's crazy and really cool. It's not for everyone and it is gear dependent, but it's a really awesome build. And if you guys enjoyed the video, if you learned something new, Make sure to share it with your friends, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.